By the looks of things, it sounds like Tesla is already working on a slight refresh to the Plaid Model S, and I assume the long range as well. But yeah, it was first spotted around the same time we were looking at the updated Cybertruck prototype driving around the test track at the Fremont factory. Someone also caught a new brake light design on the Model S that we haven't seen before, and we got some more pictures of it this morning driving around on public roads, and we're noticing that besides the crossbar not actually taking up space into the brake lights themselves, and of course having a few extra lines added to the brake lights alongside that, there's also a new charge flap that's probably closer to the design approach of the Model 3 and Y, but this one looks a tad bit larger. It's certainly bigger than the current Model S charge flap, which is more of a door because of how small it is, but it's very possible this could be something they're prototyping for CCS connections, and perhaps this prototype is experimenting with types of designs they want to use internationally for the refreshed Model S, but it certainly got me confused because I feel like the Model S has gotten so much love and attention as is. I mean, they came up with the incredibly impressive Plaid powertrain and updated the interior design with all these new displays and the yoke and the no more gear stocks, adding, you know, a rear display for the backseat passengers. On top of that, they even updated the front of the Model S. It's a very subtle change, but if you know what you're looking for, you can actually pick it up. It's more aggressive, it's more aerodynamic. Then, of course, they switched all the trim to glossy black instead of matte black like they do on the Model 3 and Y, but what a lot of people were disappointed by with the Plaid Model S refresh is that the brake lights and the back of the vehicle basically remained unchanged. It looks a little bit wider, and of course the crossbar is now glossy black, but overall it's still very similar to the original brake lights they've had since 2012, and many people said that it's long overdue for a refresh, and of course there's lots of cooler cars out there with light bars that go across the entire thing, and I mostly agree. You know, Allwin Art has done some really impressive concepts of what the Model S could look like if it stole more of that roadster aesthetic, and going with a light bar would certainly make it more futuristic and feel more fresh and modern, but simultaneously brake light design is not a super important factor to me, just because I feel like that's probably the part of the vehicle you see the least, because, you know, you're going to be looking at the front of the car when you're walking up to it most of the time, and you'll spend the majority of your existence inside the vehicle anyway. But certainly, yeah, with much more dynamic brake lights out there that dynamically change and have high refresh rate when you're activating certain features or turning on blinkers and that kind of thing, I think the Model S is deserving of a brake light refresh, but I just didn't think it would be so soon, considering it's December and first deliveries of the Plaid Model S started last June. Think of all these people that have already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on these cars, and now they already have a dated design. If Tesla does end up incorporating this new design for all Model S's and X's starting next year, or even if they started a few months later. But it once again shows just how quickly Tesla iterates and how they don't wait around for year models to update, right? Like, they're not waiting for January to begin so that they can change everything. They're like, no, if we found a better way to add something, or we found a new supply chain that can provide us these components that are better, then we're just going to switch over to them right away. We're not going to be waiting around for some magical calendar year change, but that certainly would make it simpler for everyone to know that, okay, the 2022 Model S has this updated back design and the 2021 Model S has this design, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. I think Tesla has already started issuing 2022 versions of the Model S that don't have this design, so we're still looking at a prototype here. But once again, big thank you to Allwin Art for giving us some updated images and concepts of what this design should look like. And of course, feel free to let me know how you feel about this design. Is it not enough? Do you want a light bar? Do you think it's meaningless and it doesn't matter at the end of the day? In which case, why did you watch this video? And to everyone supporting me on Patreon, thank you very much. It does seriously help me afford this next very expensive vehicle we're buying for the channel. And to everyone else, appreciate you just for watching. Take care. Have a good day.